Hi guys, in this video we're going to be talking about ayahuasca and how it can influence the levels of consciousness and your spiritual awakening.
So 3 years ago, we went to Rythmia in Costa Rica and took ayahuasca, and it was a journey of our lifetime. It was so shifting, and we felt like we should share our experience with all of you because it just helped us so much have our awakening. It started off all this healing, and the unraveling began.
So when you first go on a spiritual journey, often you can get inspired with the gathering of information. You want to watch things, listen to people talk about it, do courses perhaps, read books. And sometimes if we're not careful, we can get caught in the collection of knowledge rather than actually doing the work. It's like you're just studying and consuming information. And we were quite blessed in that my brother Dan went before us to really start doing the work on himself to clear away the density and the blocks. And for us, this made a massive difference on our progress because instead of just being focused on accumulating knowledge and experiences, we started getting in there. Seriously.
Yeah. So it was 3 years ago, just before the virus hit the world, and we divinely got guided over to Costa Rica after our brother Dan went there, and we were able to have 7 nights away from the kids. It was a big deal because Dan had to look after the kids for us, and they were only little at the time, but we got to go over on the journey together. And we walked into 4 nights of ceremony, so it's over a 7-day retreat with lots of yoga, breath work, and there's so much support there at Rythmia. And the people there are beautiful. We met so many amazing souls, like our soul family were all there at the time, and it was just divinely guided. The first night that we went, we were obviously very, very nervous and didn't know what to expect. We'd both never taken psychedelics before, and the medicine was working with us leading up to the trip. The medicine, the energy is starting to find you once you commit to the journey. And I'm sure some of you, if you're listening to this, you might be going on this journey, or you might have already had this journey, and you would understand what I'm talking about. The divine and Mother Ayahuasca is starting to take off the layers before you get there to better prepare you so you can do more inner work when you're actually in ceremony. So night 1, Pete and I got split up. The couples aren't allowed to sleep next to each other because, not sleep, you're not sleeping, you're doing the work. But we're on different mattresses up different ends of the temple. And we're very, very vulnerable. We took a cup, and then they always say, don't think, drink. So I took 2 cups, which was, pretty shifting for me, to say the least. Pete had 2 too. And we got so much out of it. So the intentions that Rythmia taught us to do, and because they're doing this over and over and over with so many light workers, they've figured out the perfect recipe to help guide us all through this journey. So the intentions are super important. So the first intention was, show me who I've become. And basically the medicine will replay a movie back to you of who you are and who you've become, and shows you your ego and all the kind of darkest shadows of yourself, and you're kind of watching going, oh, and it's pretty confronting. So you're in that vulnerable open hearts place where you go, oh, I don't want to be like that, I'm sorry, and you start to move through that self-awareness.
I found in the beginning on night 1, I was almost trying too hard. You've gone all that way, you're all prepared, and I was trying to force it. I was trying to relax. I was trying to meditate and clear my mind. And, I was thinking about trying to connect into something I didn't actually really know. And one of my big tips would be, just drink, you lie down and do nothing. Don't try. The more you try, it is like creating a barrier or a resistance. There's a big word that they say, and that's certainly about surrender. Surrendering in, and the medicine will just show you. For me, it was very much replaying the traumatic or difficult times in my life, the times where I'd had, pain, emotional upset, times where I just felt lost and fractured and buried it all in the dungeon, and we all pretend there's nothing in our dungeons, but there's stuff there.
Yeah.
And she shows you that to realize that often there's a false belief around that. In other words, from what happened, you have a false belief, a story, and you tell yourself that story over and over and over again. So it's great to identify those. But then the trapped emotional injuries from this past playing out get cleared. And that kind of came for us, yes, over the 4, but a lot on night 1. And then we go into night 2.
Yeah,
right?
night 2 is another intention, another important thing to set up the night. Intention's everything. So it's merged me back with my soul. So a lot of us have had a soul split. When we come into this planet, we're light workers, we're here for the mission, and we've got these contracts that are really wobbly in our younger years. The foundations of our family can be wobbly, different things can happen, and we split from our soul. So on the multi-dimension, our soul is energy, okay? It's consciousness energy. It's like invisible energy, and it splits and has fractures at certain significant events in our life. So part of the healing process is merging back together again to become whole. Sometimes we see souls out on the ethers, and we've explained that in other videos of the healing sessions that we do. But in the ayahuasca ceremony, you see where you split from your soul. So the medicine comes through. Mother Ayahuasca is like a snake, and she comes through and she's like coming to show you your lessons and where you split from your soul. So she will take you to the root cause in your childhood where the soul split, and let you see. And once again, it's like playing back as a movie. Sometimes people don't get visuals, which is okay. Like Pete, you didn't get visuals. It was more feeling and a bit of visuals. But for me, it was a full light show, all colors. It was like a circus in there. My pineal gland fully active, and my frequency fully up to see the color spectrum. So that was night 2. And on night 2, it was different. Again, every night is different on the medicine, and it's different. In Rythmia, they use different medicines, different plants, which brings a different energy, obviously. So yeah, that was a beautiful night, merging back with the soul. I was getting taught all how to navigate the energy and how to learn the lessons.
So on night 3, we are then looking at healing your heart. And as you heal your heart and you work through this process, and some people, the intentions come all on one night, others they spread out over the 3, but heal your heart is where you really become at peace with your inner child, with who you are. It's the connecting back with your soul and that heart integration, helping you to get out of your head and into your heart in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, so the medicine journey, we all wear white into ceremony. That's what Rythmia recommended. So we're like divine angels going in to heal. And there's a beautiful mattress, a bed, a pillow, and a beautiful blankie where you feel snuggled and safe, and are able to open up to these deep, dark emotions. And a lot of us have like emotions like stuck in us, layers and layers and layers. And some people call it emotional constipation, because we've stuffed it all down and we haven't looked at it over and over and over. And so our heart is completely shut. We operate from the head, and we are moving into this place of opening the heart on night 3, which is really beautiful. The ceremony goes for about 6 hours. So we drink at night, sundown, and it was probably about 1 o'clock when we're heading back to our rooms. So it's a long journey. There's music the whole time, which plugs you into a vibration of like that high frequency with beautiful songs singing that are triggering, like emotional triggering, which is a beautiful, loving, way to unpeel back the layers. And yeah, the shamans were all around there to support, so you can raise your hand when you're feeling like you're stuck in some sort of loop or having issues understanding what the mother's trying to bring you to teach you, which was really, really good. There was a doctor on hand, which was awesome. He was checking that you were, sound before the medicine, and you're in a good place, ready for the journey. Yeah.
A lot of people often ask me, well, did you vomit? Have you vomited? And I have experienced many nights on ayahuasca and almost never vomited. The same with unfortunately, the diarrhea, going to the toilet, even painful emotional release. I personally don't express the emotion out in that particular way, and a lot of people didn't. It just seems that those sorts of stories, get a lot of attention, because let's face it, no one wants to be that guy, or that girl who's the loud one, or the one who accidentally poops themselves, or whatever it may be. And I just wanted to let you know, I was almost unaware of anyone having a really messy experience. Lots of crying though.
I felt
Lots
like
of
my
letting
first
go.
night was a messy experience. I thought I was going to pee myself night one, actually, because it was trying to show me to let go, let go of control, stop trying to control everything.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, a lot of us in our life, because of the pain in our childhood, we grow up to control things, to make ourselves feel safe. So the medicine, it's helping us let go. It's putting us into an altered state to surrender, to let go and trust the universe, trust the divine, trust Mother Ayahuasca, that everything's going to be all right, but you need to learn the lessons. That's how we ascend, guys. That's how we empty out the junk and we purge. So most of the time for me, I was crying like a baby, crying. And, it was just at one point I did need to try and spew, but I couldn't get it out. And it was had to be with the emotion of feeling sick and asking it, what's wrong? What is this sickness? And then the mother would show you,
So these powerful lessons that we got through the experience, and then of course on the fourth night, the whole experience of connecting to bliss, to, for some people, catch up on the bits that they didn't get on the 3 nights before, and it all came together for them on the last night. Basically, they finally surrendered.
Yeah.
Right? They finally allowed themselves to be out of control and realize that there's nothing to be scared of. The reason we don't like to give up control is because of the deep fear hidden within us. Once you've released the fears, it's easier to just surrender to a higher power, a power greater than yourself. And the feelings of bliss and connectedness, and I have these beautiful light beings come through. And guys, 3 years later, I still feel like I can feel my emotions more. I can express them more. I'm more aware in my day-to-day life, more loving, more guided by spirit in terms of decisions I need to make, courses of action for my life. In the old, it was force and will and planning and study and,
organized.
It was like force versus power. And it's teaching you how to tap into that power of the universe. And you live without fear. You live with less worry. And the flow state is more and more present. And for us, 3 years later, we're still experiencing what I would call elevated states of consciousness and the real powerful connection back to self, that state where you can observe yourself living your life. Even sometimes observe yourself observing your life, where really any sort of spiritual ego that might have come up because you think you're doing such a great job, and then you're full of yourself because you think you're doing really good, the spiritual seeker, you can catch that as well, because the spirit is just so pure and connected to that primordial awareness that's all around us.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about trying ayahuasca, we would recommend it. You have to prepare for it. It's not an easy journey. It's a deep, shifting journey, and you need to be prepared for it. So opening yourself up to breath work, to going to see a psychologist or an energy healer to start unraveling your childhood traumas. And of course, if you need some assistance, we are here for you. But you'll really love the journey. It's at the start, when you enter in the ceremony room, it's oh my God, there's so many nerves. But by the end of the night, you're hugging your brothers and sisters in the temple. You're love everybody. It brings you back together again. We're all interconnected, and this altered state shows us that, and it really is what matters. All the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. Love is the only thing that really will heal the world. So go out there and heal, do the inner work. That's how we shift the human collective. And if you have any questions about ayahuasca or want to know some tips or tricks if you're coming up to a journey, like just reach out to us. We absolutely love this journey. It was very shifting for us. It opened us up to a higher wisdom and the divine, and we love it. We'd never regret the decision of going and getting back just in time. Hey,
yeah,
quick
for
trip.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And guys, you can find out more of what we got out of this ayahuasca experience, because it changed our life. Our career completely changed. How we school our children, how we live day to day in terms of work, all changed over the last 3 years because of what we did. So you can check out the other videos on our channel. And as Roxy mentioned, send us an email if you'd like to find more, or make a comment down below if you've got a question. We'd be happy to help and appreciate a like and a subscribe if you want to help share the love. And we'll be back again with another great video on how consciousness can evolve through the choices that we make in our life real soon. So thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.